Welcome to our homestead. This week we've got loads to do. We're finishing our newest build, gardening, setting up our first irrigation, while battling a few problems.
We are officially idiots.
And fixing more problems on our water system.
One thing which is missing on our little pergola is the brackets. I will try now the first prototype of it. Day 2 of the brackets. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Go on the lemon.
There we go. I thought you were holding it and I was testing it.
My dad would kill you like within...
This is even hard for them, to be honest.
What?
Yeah.
Just like in this direction. Yeah, but I need you, I can't do it myself. Come on, you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
I hope so.
Huh? Oh, wait.
No, just again, like...
You wouldn't believe it, but it's taken us the whole day.
That's not true.
Yeah, nice, well done.
Okay.
Yeah, very much. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately, the kiwis not looking good. If you watched last week's video, you would know that the dog from the neighbour dug all of the root ball up and basically tore the roots apart. I'm going to remove some of the foliage. I think that will send the energy back to the roots. And it still has some new shoots here. You know what it's time for? So because we planted these 2 kiwis, and as you can see this slopes down here, so it's very hard to water them obviously. So we're going to make 2 small terraces around each one, and then hopefully it stabilises a little bit and we can water it deeply with some mulch. Spider. See? That spider. I can put some on these 2 now.
One thing I learned on this project here is that the round beam might look fantastic, but it's a pain to work with them, and also it's not really my best work here. But once all of this is grown over, you can't even see it, huh?
Then we had a problem to attend to with the water system.
So this white thing is actually not really good quality. So it sucked in air through this pipe and the pump couldn't make any usable pressure. This is the responsible piece for the loss of our pressure, and lucky me that I always buy things additional to what we need. So we have everything we need on Sunday to repair this. Let's try then. Yeah. So after the night still wasn't working, I had an epiphany during sleep, which is the thing which is responsible for it. You see the parts. So this is a one-way valve, and like the pump sucks the water in. If this doesn't close, the pressure of the pump goes down. What quite shocks me is that this is plastic. You see the new valve is messing, which is much more stable than hard plastic.
We still had a big problem with the pressure of the pump, so we need to do a little bit more digging to find out what the problem is. So a couple of weeks ago I planted here the cucumbers, and now they've started to flower, which means obviously they start to get the fruits. So here I'm going to make quite a small A-frame so they can start to climb up. This is not my strong suit. Okay, so At least the soil is soft then. So the A-frame is done. Obviously I need to cut here and this side to make it the same height. And instead of doing more of the same of the bamboo here, I'm going to use string. I think that the cane is too thick for the cucumber to grow up. So our little A-frame is finished for the cucumbers, and then next I will do the same thing with this one and put string instead of the bamboo because I think it's too thick for the peas to put their little hook things, don't know what they're called, around so they can grow up. So yesterday I bought some onions from the lady in the village because they were looking a little bit worse for wear, so thought I would try and give them a chance. So I'm going to attempt to plant them in the greenhouse. As you know from last week's episode, everything in the greenhouse looks fantastic. It's actually crazy that when we started, if you've been here from the beginning, you know that there were no worms on the entire land basically. And now even in the greenhouse, there's worms in the soil. It's like, yeah, like everything's moving. This worm is not moving. Oh yeah, he is.
So, we have something really cool to install today.
A new coffee machine.
No, cooler. So today's plan is to install the self-irrigating system for the plants in the greenhouse, so that Emily doesn't waste hundreds, thousands of liters of water.
So we're basically using this blue mat irrigation system, which is like little clay cones, and you hook it, I guess, to the IBC, and then it's self-watering, so we don't really have to look after the greenhouse.
It's a massive construction, huh? me and my friend who I'm working with as well, we always have a question. And the question is it over-engineered? And I for sure, and I would say him as well, we tend to do so.
When you ask for a simple irrigation system.
But it needs to be nice and neat. It doesn't look really nice, but I would say does it function? It's functional. There's nothing coming up.
Is the valve open?
Yeah. I thought so. Right.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Now it should work. Was this little sucker in here, huh? No, but it makes sense now. Like this thing is made for the tub, and the tub is obviously way too much pressure. But we have just the IBC, which is gravitation. Yeah. Anyway, you know what I mean. This is it, boys and girls.
So this amount might seem a little bit excessive, but we're going to install all of them because I still have some more things that I'm waiting for the seeds to sprout.
And we guys, we are now installing the... Why do I always try to get some special words for? Just a pipe? Yep. Good.
Boiling. Let us be friends.
Get dad jokes. So then I would turn it on, huh?
Yeah, and then we adjust them.
Do we know now if it works or not?
Yeah, unless you just turn some on.
Yeah, but yeah. Then open it. Open this one fully. So there is enough water then.
But it's really hard to tell then how.
Yeah, this is what it should be. But here does the water not come? Emily and me, we are officially idiots. Because we opened this valve, but we didn't open the main valve because we took away the hose. That was really intelligent. Now I sucked all of the water out of the cones.
The permaculture guy on YouTube, it takes him 30 minutes to set up.
Yeah, here it comes. So, what I would do is like, just open all of them once. Then we really can see that water is coming.
Now you leave it to drip, yeah?
No.
You turn it off, so then it's dripping.
No. Yeah, here it's not dripping nowhere.
Here it's stopped now, but it was.
Yeah, but then it's the right thing, no?
Yeah. So we've got the irrigation in and the clay pots are in. We had a little bit of confusion on our part for how the system is functioning, but now we think it's good, so...
And who is gonna read the instruction? Come on!
Not us. So now we will leave it for a few hours and then come back and check how it's going. Whoa.
We thought that the water pump is alright, but what we experienced is that it turns on and off and on and off and on and off. So what I found out so far is that we need to check the pressure tank. If the pressure in there is not enough, it will turn on and off. But what we need to do first is to empty the system, that there is no pressure coming from this pipe down. Oh, there were spider webs in my face.
It sounds like an instrument.
Conclusion of the system is that it worked well for a year, and now that we're living at the homestead, we're really dependent on the water, and this system needs to be updated. So as you can see here, it's rusty where the tank is welded to the feet, and they're the same. And what I found out anyway is that the tank of 24 liters is anyway too small for the height difference we have here. So it's around 20 to 30 meters higher where the house is. It's like an atom bomb.
So I came back to check the irrigation in the greenhouse, and the dog had come in, taken a whole cone out of the ground and chewed it, which is great. So luckily we had still a few to replace it with, but all in all the actual system works so good. It's not a sponsor, but it's a really, really good system. We bought it a long time ago and we never installed it, so if you're looking for an irrigation system, we really recommend this one. So this week we had a lot to do, a lot of things went wrong as you saw, but that's what homesteading is about, isn't it? So thanks so much for watching, we'll see you next week.